Hello everyone, my name is Saturn, and today I'm going to be doing a quick review, I guess you could call it, of the Filcher, which is a custom origin that I discovered, I think about a week ago is when I first saw the first post in the Origins Discord about it. And when I saw it, it was everything that I've ever wanted in an Origin class and more. I mean, this is by far, and I've played with hundreds, literally hundreds of Origins since the mod has come out. I've been obsessed with this mod. This one by far is my favorite, and I'll tell you why. So we're gonna go ahead, let's just make the world creative, just for demonstration purposes to make my life a little bit easier. I'm going to spawn into a creative world and then we'll get into some of the abilities. All right, so here is the description for the origin. I'm gonna go ahead and read through it, and here we go. So despite being capable of bending space with enough precision to form a personal pocket dimension, filters are quite timid. So I like this because it kind of hints at the sort of play style that you should be playing as with this origin. Of course, you don't have to play that way, but it'll probably be more beneficial given the kind of just the kind of creature that the Filcher is. So the first ability is the pocket dimension. You can access a personal room where blocks and entities can be stored. 3 seconds of charge up time. Punching entities during charge up time will teleport them into the pocket dimension with you, with a limit of 10 non-player entities inside of the pocket dimension. Damage taken from enemies during charge up time is drastically increased. So this is really strong. Basically, it's like a base that you can go to whenever you want. So even if you haven't built like a base in the overworld, you can just teleport to your pocket dimension and just sort of chill out there. Time still does pass in the overworld, just to let you know, while you're in this dimension, so it's not like a time freeze. But if you're in a sticky situation, you can kind of escape it, but it's not just like a get out of jail free card, which makes it not completely overpowered because there's a 3 second charge up time and you take more damage. So it's not just one of those things where it's like, oh, if you're about to die, teleport to your dimension, because if you're about to die and you're consistently taking damage, then it's just only going to increase the damage that you're taking, so you'll die anyway. But if you're tactical enough, you can use it to avoid tricky situations where you're close to death or risk dying. So it's super cool, and it's just a personal vault where you can just store things and they're constantly on you. So your second ability is the vacuum. It vacuums all the items within a 15 block radius into your inventory. 2.5 second charge up time, and damage taken from enemies during the charge up time is drastically increased. This one is pretty interesting. This would be like my only change to this origin would be to add either a third ability or change this to something that's a little bit more useful. And like I did a playthrough, or I'm still doing a playthrough of this origin. It's honestly, I've not used this second ability for hardly anything during the entire playthrough. Like, it can be useful in very niche situations, but most of the time you won't really need this. It's just mostly cool. So I thought it'd be kind of cool if he had like a third ability, like maybe it could be a simple like teleport ability, which would be super cool for him to have, or anything different that I can use a bit more than just the vacuum. Like an added third ability, I think that would be really cool. But it's still a cool ability, but I think it's just mostly just kind of there, if you know what I mean. But again, I'm not complaining. Again, this is my favorite origin by far. So non-competitive. Fighting is not your strong suit. You cannot use shields, take increased damage from enemies, that's very important, and have decreased attack range, and temporarily stun when attacked by an opponent. So what I found about the stun is that it's not necessarily a stun, but more so you just sort of get slowed for a bit. It's not like you're completely, it doesn't give you like slowness 50 or something. It's like slowness 2 maybe, or slowness 1, and it lasts for like half a second, or that, at least that's what it seems when I'm playing. I've been hit by enemies, and it does still affect you more than just like playing as a human, but it's not as bad as this makes it seem. However, you have to be extremely careful because all enemies deal more damage to you, which is the drawback of being able to go into that pocket dimension, because that ability is busted. This is what makes it not busted and actually makes this origin a very interesting playstyle. So I like this a lot. You have to be really careful when you're playing as this origin. So again, that plays into the little lore of them being like timid creatures. That's kind of the playstyle you're generally gonna want when playing this origin. Again, you don't have to follow that. You can play this however you want to. You can be a badass Filcher that just goes and wrecks people and then teleports to their pocket dimension to heal up and then comes back. There's so many possibilities with this origin, but I mean, this is just how I would play this origin. So Gremlin, you are small enough to fit into a 1 block space when you are sneaking. However, you are also limited to 7 hearts. So you're about 2 blocks high. So you're shorter than most creatures. And when you, like you said, when you sneak, you can fit into 1 block spaces. This could be useful for getting out of situations like enemies not being able to attack you. If you could just fit into like a 1 block space, it's super useful. It's gotten me out of tricky situations where I have like a bunch of skeletons and like zombies on me, and I just fit into a 1 block space and I'm good. Because you can't always just warp to your dimension if you're actively taking damage, because you'll risk dying. So yeah, this is pretty good, but it's also a drawback as well. So it's kind of in the gray area because of the fact that you're smaller. It's hard to see long distances. Like you're shorter, so your view of the world isn't as good as someone who would be like 3 blocks tall, which is like the normal human. So you can't quite see things as well because you're shorter. And I hope I explained that well. I'm not the best at explaining things, but you'll see in the gameplay. And I'm sorry I'm taking a while with this explanation. If you want, you can just skip. I'll probably leave a timestamp somewhere. I'm not sure how to do that yet, but I'll figure that out if you just want to skip into the actual gameplay. But I just want to be thorough. Pocket space incompatibility. Your space bending properties interfere with the workings of ender chests and shulker boxes, preventing you from using either. This is, I mean, why would you even want to use an ender chest or a shulker box? You literally have a pocket dimension, which is your own personal room to store anything you want in. Shulker boxes and ender chest are literally made null, so it's you can't use them, but why would you want to? So and then wandering soul, this is really cool. So this is also a plus side. You're nomadic by nature and have adapted to exhaust slower. Your spirit is restless and relocating I can read, I promise. Your spirit is restless, relocating you in a 100 block radius around your spawn point when you respawn. I'm not really sure what the 100 block radius of your spawn point really means. Maybe it's like you don't exactly always spawn in your spawn, but somewhere near it. I think that's what that means. And this exhaust slower thing is amazing because you rarely need to eat. Like you can jump around, run, get hit. And the only time that you really need to eat is like if you're regenerating your health. That will consume your hunger a little bit. But again, it only consumes a small amount of hunger. So you hardly consume any food to the point where I don't even bother with like steak or pork. I can just carry around some carrots or some wheat and you'll be good. So you can carry around much less food, which is also super cool. So we're going to go ahead and select it. And as the side class, I mean, this doesn't really matter. Just your personal preference if you have origins classes. For me, I guess I'm just going to go ahead and pick the Explorer. Sprinting doesn't cause you to exhaust. We don't really exhaust that much. We'll do the warrior because we deal a bit more damage with weapons, and we can't use shields anyway, so it doesn't matter. So let's use that. Okay, cool. So we're in the game. Just keep in mind I have a couple of mods installed. This is for the immersion, so that's why you might hear different things. So what I like to do, this origin also comes with a custom figure. I think this mod is called model, and this model is like a custom skin, which is the filter, what the filter is supposed to look like. It's super cool, incredibly detailed. I mean, just look at these gorgeous eyes. Just look at that. I mean, it's just amazing. I absolutely love this. It's so cool. This is really what makes this my favorite origin. Not only that, but you will make sounds every so often, and I think it's just so cool. You really do feel like an otherworldly creature that's like not of this world. It's so cool. This is why I just love this origin. So this is what the little model looks like. You can get this model in the Origins Discord by looking up Mr. Plague in his Filcher origin. He leaves a link to how to get this model and how to download it and all the instructions and all then. So if you're not in the Origins Discord, go ahead and join it. But yeah, we're going to get into the showcase. Okay, so first ability, or no, second ability rather. Let's just get some blocks, and we're gonna take these blocks and just kind of drop them off here, right? Please ignore the obnoxiously loud keyboard. I apologize. I have no way of drowning out that sound. It's so clickety clackety. I really need some keycaps, but I don't have any at the moment. So here we go. What does that sound? Is that part of my ambient noise mod? Huh, strange. All right, so we're gonna drop these two items. And then they all come back to my hotbar. Again, pretty cool. Not incredibly useful, but I could imagine it could be sort of useful if you just so happen to drop an item like kind of far away and you're in a precarious situation. You just want to get those items back. It can be pretty cool. So yeah, that's the second ability. And the coolest ability is Pocket Dimension. So basically you warp to your own personal dimension, and in that dimension you can do whatever you want. So here we go. Whoa. Okay, I think my shaders are messing up the dimension. Yeah, the shaders aren't compatible. Okay, hold on. Let me turn off my shaders. All right, so this is what it looks like with shaders off. This is what you can expect. So this is your pocket dimension. It's just one big layer of bedrock. I heard that he's planning on adding, he or she, them, sorry. So I heard that they are planning on adding potentially other rooms to the pocket dimension, which would be super cool. But this is what it is so far. It's pretty barren, but the whole concept in and of itself is just so busted. You can build things here, and whatever you build will stay. So if you leave and come back, this will stay here. So you can just like put chests here, put furnaces. It could be like your own workbench. If it's a bit too dark for you, just go ahead and grab yourself some torches, you know, and boom, just place your torches down. And yeah, it's all fully lit up so you can actually see, and you can build around it. In fact, you can build your own little home here and just like have this as a personal tiny little base for you, and no other like creatures or mobs can enter this space unless you delegate that they can go through. So basically, as when we went through those the list of the origin where it said if you're charging up and you hit if you hit a mob while you're charging up, then it'll be warped to that pocket dimension with you. I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate that now. Okay, so this is the chicken. We're gonna do our thing. And boom, he's here with me. And as you can see, the torches that I placed are still here. So it does save just like you would in the normal world. And I'm not sure if you just heard that. I hope you did. But that's like the little noises that the filter makes every so often. It's just part of the origin. It just adds to the immersiveness of this origin, which is why it's my favorite origin of all time. I like refuse to play Minecraft unless I'm playing as this origin now. I just love it. It's like once you have it, I just can't get enough of it. So yeah, you can just like build your own home, do whatever here. Super cool. Or if you just like need to cool down, need a place to eat, or just need a place to just be safe, this is your go-to. And I just love it so much. So yeah, that's pretty much the Filcher origin. I did not mean to break that piece of bedrock. Did he die when I punched him? Is that him? Anyways, so yeah, I got a little bit sidetracked there. So yeah, that's the Filcher origin. That's pretty much a full review of him. I will do a playthrough of this origin if I feel like it. I'm not sure if I will, but I think I will upload that. I'm not sure if people will be interested in seeing that, but this is the review of the Filcher origin and all of its powers. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Please go check out Mr. Plague in the I'll leave a link in the description for the Origins Discord, and in the Discord you can go to data packs, and under data packs you can search for the Filcher origin, or you can just type in Filcher and it should pop up and you'll see it's by Mr. Plague. So please go say hi to him. Give him some props to this origin because this is a super well-made one, and I'm sure it must have taken a load of work. So this origin is made by Mr. Plague and some other guy. I can't remember his name. Really apologize for that, but it will be if you go and download the origin, it'll tell you that it's by the other guy who helped with one of the abilities. But yeah, so please go show these guys some love. They worked really hard on this origin. They deserve a load more recognition for this. So yeah, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.